the richest man
in
in
Babylon.
Babylon.
Alrighty. Meet the goddess of good luck. If a man be lucky, there is no foretelling the possible extent of his good fortune. Pitch him in the Euphrates, and like as not, he will swim out with a pearl in his hand. That's a Babylonian proverb. The desire to be lucky is universal. It was just as strong in the breasts of men 4,000 years ago in ancient Babylon as it is in the hearts of men today. We all hope to be favored by the whimsical goddess of good luck. Is there some way we can meet her and attract not only her favorable attention, but her generous favors? Is there a way to attract good luck? That is just what the men of ancient Babylon wished to know. It is exactly what they decided to find out. They were shrewd men and keen thinkers. That explains why their city became the richest and most powerful of their time. In that distant past, they had no schools or colleges. Nevertheless, they had a center of learning, and a very practical one it was. Among the towered buildings in Babylon was one that ranked in importance with the palace of the king, the hanging gardens, and the temples of the gods. You will find scant mention of it in the history books, more likely no mention at all, yet it exerted a powerful influence upon the thought of that time. This building was the Temple of Learning, where the wisdom of the past was expounded by voluntary teachers, and where subjects of popular interest were discussed in open forums. Within its walls, all men met as equals. The humblest of slaves could dispute with impunity the opinions of a prince of the royal house. Among the many who frequented the Temple of Learning was a wise rich man named Arcad, called the richest man in Babylon. He had his own special hall where almost any evening a large group of men, some old, some very young, but mostly middle-aged, gathered to discuss and argue interesting subjects. Suppose we listen in to see whether they knew how to attract good luck. The sun had just set like a great ball of fire, shining through the haze of desert dust when Arcad strolled to his accustomed platform. Already, full 80 men were awaiting his arrival, reclining on their small rugs spread upon the floor. More were still arriving. "What shall we discuss this night?" Arcad inquired. After a brief hesitation, a tall cloth weaver addressed him, arising as was the custom. "I have a subject I would like to hear discussed, yet hesitate to offer, lest it seem ridiculous to you, Arcad, and my good friends here." Upon being urged to offer it, both by Arcad and by calls from others, he continued, "This day I have been lucky, for I have found a purse in which there are pieces of gold. To continue to be lucky is my great desire. Feeling that all men share with me this desire, I do suggest we debate how to attract good luck, that we may discover ways it can be enticed to one." "A most interesting subject has been offered," Arcad commented. "One most worthy of our discussion. To some men, good luck bespeaks but a chance happening that, like an accident, may befall one without purpose or reason. Others do believe that the instigator of all good fortune is most bounteous goddess Ashtar, ever anxious to reward with generous gifts those who please her. Speak up, my friends, what say you? Shall we seek to find out if there be means by which any good luck may be enticed to visit each and all of us?" "Yea, yea, and much of it," responded the growing group of eager listeners. Thereupon Arcad continued, "To start our discussion, let's first hear from those among us who have enjoyed experiences similar to that of the cloth weaver in finding or receiving, without effort, upon their part, valuable treasures or jewels." There was a pause in which all looked about, expecting someone to reply, but no one did. "What, no one?" Arcad said. "Then rare indeed must be this kind of good luck. Who now will offer a suggestion as to where we shall continue our search?" "That I will do," spoke a well-robed young man, arising. "When a man speaketh of luck, is it not natural that his thoughts turn to the gaming tables? Is it not there we find many men courting the favor of the goddess in hope she will bless them with rich winnings?
He resumed his seat, a voice called, "Do not stop, continue the story. Tell us, didst thou find favor with the goddess at the gaming tables? Did she turn the cube with red stripe up so that thou fillst thy purse at the dealer's expense? Or did she permit the blue sides to come up, so the dealer raked in thy hard-earned pieces of silver? The young man joined the good-natured laugher, and then replied, I'm not adverse to admitting she seemed not to know I was even there. But how about the rest of you? Have you found her waiting about such places to roll the cubes in your favor? We are eager to hear as well as to learn. A wise start, broke Arcad. We meet here to consider all sides of each question. To ignore the gaming table would be to overlook an instinct common to most men, the love of taking a chance with a small amount of silver in the hopes of winning much gold. That doth remind me of the races but yesterday, called out one listener. If the goddess frequents the gaming tables, certainly she does not overlook the races, where the gilded chariots and the foaming horses offer far more excitement. Tell us honestly, Arcad, did she whisper to you to place your bet upon those gray horses from Nineveh yesterday? I was standing just behind thee, and could scarce believe my ears when I heard thee place thy bet upon the grays. Thou knowest as well as any of us that no team in the Assyria can beat our beloved bays in the fair race. Did the goddess whisper in thy ear to bet upon the grays? Because at the last turn the inside black would stumble and so interfere with our bays that the grays would win the race and score an unearned victory. Arcad smiled indulgently at the banter. What reason have we to feel the good goddess would take that much interest in any man's bet upon a horse race? To me, she is a goddess of love and dignity, whose pleasure is to aid those who are in need and to reward those who are deserving. I look to find her not at the gaming tables or the races, where men lose more gold than they win in other places where the doings of men are more worthwhile and more worthy of reward. In tilling the soil in honest trade, in all of man's occupations, where there is opportunity to make a profit upon his efforts and his transactions, perhaps not all the time will he be rewarded, because sometimes his judgment may be faulty, and other times the winds and the weather may defeat his efforts. Yet, if he persist, he may usually expect to realize his profit. This is so because the chances of profit are always in his favor. But when a man playeth the games, the situation is reversed, for the chance of profit are always against him, and always in favor of the gamekeeper. The game is so arranged that it will always favor the keeper. It is his business at which he plays. He plans to make a liberal profit for himself from the coins bet by the players. Few players realize how certain are the gamekeeper's profits and how uncertain are their own chances to win. For example, let us consider wages placed upon the cube. Each time it is cast, we bet which side will be uppermost. If it be the red side, the game master pays us 4 times our bet. If any other of the 5 sides come uppermost, we lose our bet. Thus, the figures show that for each cast we have 5 chances to lose, but because the red pays 4 for 1, we have 4 chances to win. In a night's play, the game master can expect to keep for his profit 1/5 of all the coins wagered. Can a man expect to win more than occasionally against odds so arranged that he should lose 1/5 of all his bets? Yet some men do win large sums at times, volunteered one of the listeners. Quite so they do, Arcad continued. Realizing this, the question comes to me whether money secured in such ways brings permanent value to those who are thus lucky. Among my acquaintances are many of the successful men of Babylon, yet among them I am unable to name a single one who started his success from such a source. You who are gathered here tonight know many more of our substantial citizens. To me, it would be of much interest to learn how many of our successful citizens can credit the gaming tables with their start to success. Suppose each of us tell you those who know. What say you?